Hi everyone, today we're going to do lamb burgers. We're going to use some oven chips with those, and we're going to serve it with a serve of broccoli because that's one serve of veggies. Now this is a bit of preparation for your assessment task because I noticed that some of you are going to do burgers for your family meal, which is a great idea, but I just thought I'd like to show you this particular recipe and how to form the burgers, etc. And your timing has to be just right. So, I've already washed my hands. I'm now going to get my 500 grams of mince out into a bowl. And we're going to actually grate our onion in there. Great way to start frying. Okay, we've got fresh garlic in our mix. And then we're going to put some fresh herbs in as well. And the herbs that we're going to use, mint is really nice as well, but I don't have any mint in our herb garden, so I'm just going to use the tiniest bit of rosemary. And I wanted to show you how I store my herbs. I do not put them in a glass of water and then put that whole thing in the fridge. That doesn't keep your herbs very well at all. But if you get a wet tea towel and you roll your herbs up, they will keep for a really long time, well over a week. Okay? And usually with parsley we pick it off the branch so that we're not getting the stems in there as well. And then we just roll it up, put it back in a plastic bag, and they will literally keep for 1 to 2 weeks like that. Now I'm just going to roll up all those herbs like that, and I'm going to start coming through like this. Now I've got 500 grams for 4 patties, and I'm actually going to make it go a little bit further, and I'll show you how I do that. We add some breadcrumbs. This actually helps hold them together as well. It's got just a little bit less than a quarter of a cup, and I'm going to add not the whole egg to start off with. Just going to see whether we're just going to add the egg white, because it's the white that actually holds it together. And we want to put some salt and pepper in there. And we're going to put a little bit of cumin as well. Got a teaspoon in there. We'll see whether a teaspoon is about right. I think about half a teaspoon is about right. And some fresh pepper. And we're going to put that whole egg white in there. And with another thing that we're going to add, which is really great because we're adding some vegetables to this, is we're going to add some frozen spinach. But the thing about frozen spinach is it's really wet, really wet. So we're going to pop it in a tea towel and we're going to squeeze it, because we don't want our mix that's going to put half of a bag in, and we don't want our mix to be very wet. So now we're just going to roll that up in there, and you'll be surprised how much water comes out. Come and have a look. Just from a handful of spinach. Okay. And I might even chop that up a little bit more because it's not as well chopped as it could be. great way to get another serve of veggies into your meal. And now we're going to squish that all together. Yeah, this is just the right amount of breadcrumbs because it's going to form into a patty really well and not break up when we cook it. Now I'm just going to press that down, let that sit for a little while and have the flavours develop while I get our chips ready. Now I know I'm cheating a bit, but I bought some frozen chips. And we have a really nice potato chip here by McCain, and they are sea salt and rosemary, which I thought would be really nice for our burger, being a lamb burger. So I've heated my tray just to have things go a little bit quicker. And there's enough for 6 in this pack. Really, we don't need a great deal. We want one layer. One layer of chips only. Because you've already got the bun as well, so you don't want to go overboard on the carbs. But don't forget, if you do serve chips with your burger, you're getting another serve of vegetables in your meal. So I'm going to put a timer on for 10 minutes and then I'm going to turn it. Okay, one of the guidelines for the assessment task is that we have at least 2 or 3 serves of vegetables with the meal. That's so that we fit in with the Australian guidelines for healthy eating. So we're actually going to have a serve of broccoli, a serve of potato, and we've got some lettuce in the bun as well. So I'm just going to prepare this broccoli for you, and I just want to show you something because a lot of people will just throw the stem away. That is really not a very sensible thing to do because there's a lot of fibre in the stem. So what I do is I cut it off there. The thing about the stem is that it's got quite a big thick skin. So I just get rid of that skin like this, and that leaves the most delicious stem, which is really tasty. Takes a little bit longer to cook than the actual florets, but you put that in first for a minute or so, and then you add your florets. So I just cut them through like that, and they are absolutely delicious. Alrighty, we're just getting our mise en place ready, which means things in place. We've got our lettuce for our burgers, and we're going to cut our burger buns. These are a decent sized bun, and we're going to use a serrated knife because if you use your chef's knife, you'll actually blunt your knife like that. So keeping a flat hand right on top, just come straight through, keeping your knife parallel to the board, straight down. Okay, we're going to form our patties now, and I like to use wet hands for that. So I'm going to separate my mix up. I'm going to divide my mix up into 4. So we've got a decent sized patty, and we're going to squish it into a ball first, and you can see how I'm forming it with my hands. I'm squishing it down. Let's see that we get the right size. We won't touch the bread with the meat. We're just going to make it a little bit bigger because it will shrink in the pan. Okay, we're going to turn the chips now, and at the same time I'm putting my pan on to heat up to do the burger buns, the burgers. So these look good, they smell good, and we'll just turn them over a bit. And you know, the advantage of doing chips in the oven is you don't get all that saturated fat or that extra oil from the calories as well. Sure, they put a little bit of oil on them in the factory, but they actually smell fantastic. Okay, our burgers are going to take about 10 minutes to cook all together, and I've decided that I'm going to do it in 2 frying pans because we don't want all of the heat on the frying pan to come out. We want to cook it in a really hot frying pan. So I'm going to do 2 there, and I'm going to do 2 in the other frying pan over there. Or I might do 3 here. And 1 in this other frying pan over here. Let's see if that frying pan's hot enough. No, it's not. You can tell how hot a frying pan is by putting your hand close to it, or by when you put the oil in. The oil will go really much more liquidy. And then we're going to put a timer on for 5 minutes now, and then we're going to turn our lamb over after 5 minutes. So the trick is, isn't it, to get everything ready at the same time. So the one in the small frying pan is cooking quicker. See how it's just like that. And the thing about burgers, it depends on your family how well they want it to be cooked. Because you know what, even with a burger you can actually serve it medium if you want to. Okay, they are done and ready to put our mayonnaise on and our lettuce. And now we're going to do the tops of our buns. And we're going to actually put our cheese on top of our meat now. And it's just going to melt down that way. We're just going to check how long we think they're going to take. I think they're nearly ready. They're going to be about 2 minutes, I reckon, and they'll be ready. Now we can put the rest of our broccoli in. The thing about broccoli is it really doesn't take very long to cook at all. And you know what cooking does, don't you? It kills the nutrients. Absolutely kills them dead. So really the best way to do it, they say, is to steam our vegetables. Okay, stay with me now because we're going to put a little bit of mayonnaise on each of the bottom of the buns. And we're just going to spread that around. Making sure that we don't burn the bottom of the tops. Oh, that was close. We might turn those over a little bit and just put a little toast on there. Now we're going to put our lettuce on. There'll be enough of those. Just crisp them up. And our cheese could just do it a little bit more of a melt. So now the cheese has melted and it's delicious. And we are going to put our burgers on our burger buns. In fact, what we're going to do is we're going to transfer these to the plate. Make it easier to serve. Okay, now we're going to use a little bit of the shop bought tomato relish because it is delicious. You could of course use some tomato sauce, or you could use barbecue sauce depending on what your family likes. Okay, we're going to finish doing our burgers now, serving them up, put their lids on, and we're going to serve 3 pieces of broccoli on each plate, a couple of those stems, good fibre, and a bit of chips. Didn't need a lot. And there we have it, our lamb burger with fries and broccoli.